Apparently it's a big thing, and we just knew it. We sniffed it out. I'm not taking it. I know better. Made me hot going over there. Running up there. I have a really warm sweater, a shirt, and I had this on, and I was going back and forth with Lucy. So it was like, I'm sweating. Lucy will do that. Well, I made a mistake. I lost the thing that she gave me, so we had to go recover it, and I'm so thrilled that I did. Felt like I was walking through the concrete.
Tohu Manaim
Shevet Achim Gam Yachad Hine Ma Tohu Manaim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad Hine Ma Tohu Manaim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad Hine Ma Tovu Manayim 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 Shevet Achim Gam Yachad.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
It's so good to be here. It's so good to be together. I want to take this opportunity to welcome everyone, whether you're here with us in person, whether you're here with us on the stream. We can even turn back and give a wave to the stream because we're all here together. And welcome to those of you who are here for the first time. Welcome to those of you who are here for the umpteenth time. And we're grateful that all of you are here. This Shabbat we read Parshat Truma. Truma is the Hebrew word that refers to the sacred gift that each of the Israelites offer to build the portable sanctuary while the Israelites are wandering in the desert. The God of the Torah loves gifts. The Israelites know that the God of the Torah loves gifts, and so the Israelites provide the best gifts possible. They provide crimson yarn, they provide gold, they provide ram skins, they provide, the Torah says, dolphin skins. They provide a little bit of everything that God likes, and that is the gift that the Israelites offer. The gifts that we also offer can be called truma as well. Truma in Hebrew comes from the root romem, which means to elevate or to uplift. When we uplift or elevate those in our community, particularly those in our community who maybe need some uplifting or who are down or who are sick, that is a huge gift. That's truma, and it's also a mitzvah. So my question that I want to offer us on this Shabbat is, who in your life maybe needs some uplifting, either this Shabbat or this next week? May this Shabbat offer a reminder for us to do this holy truma. I'm also excited to recognize and to truma, to uplift and recognize that our colleague, our teacher, my mentor, Rabbi Benjamin Ross is here, and I also want to welcome Liz and Ruvain and Zeke to our holy space. We're so glad that you're back with us, and we promise to sing Hashkivenu for you.
Because I don't think there's ever been a service where we haven't sung that.
First, we'll begin on page 10 with Yadid Nefesh. We'll begin on page 10 with Yadid Nefesh.
Yedid nefesh av harachaman, av harachaman. Neshoch avdecha el retzonecha, el retzonecha. Yarutz avdecha kemo ayal yishtachave el mul hadarecha. Yedid nefesh av harachaman, av harachaman. Neshoch avdecha el retzonecha, el retzonecha.
So this past week, I've had sort of an occurrence of thinking about the future a lot. Just been on my mind. And it's hard to remind myself that we have to have moments where we live in the present and we're looking at what's gonna happen and having a lot of what ifs, all these questions of what if this and what if that. But all that does is really tear away at what is good right now. And this is a poem written by somebody who I've recently gotten to really like. And of course, what I would like to share the name of his Tanner Olson is his name. He's a reverend and a really incredible poet. And he wrote this during the pandemic, but I think that it really rings true today. This is called And We Can Still. And we can still dance and bake brownies, and we can still wave as we pass and text about it later. We can still stay up late and chase dreams. We can still put off doing laundry and leave the dirty dishes in the sink. And we can still rewatch The Office and cringe during Scott's tots. And we can still pour coffee in the morning and again in the afternoon. And we can still take hot showers and plant gardens with bright, colorful flowers. And we can still look for the good and keep going even when we feel misunderstood. And we can still live without our phones and find joy in being alone. And we can still read books on the couch at home and maybe even write our own. And we can still order takeout and write letters. And we can still chase the sunset and scream in the rain to ease the pain. And we can still believe and breathe. And isn't that a beautiful thing? And we can still open our hands to pray and empty our lungs as we sing, and we can still move forward. We can still build a better tomorrow today, because we still have today. We still have today. We only have today. We'll continue welcoming in Shabbat with Lecha Dodi. This is a version that actually Rabbi Scott and I taught in 2 different weeks, not knowing we taught the same song, but
It was meant to be.
it was meant to be. It was very much meant to be. Of course, the one song I want to find, I can't find. Can you explain who wrote this song, please?
Of course.
Please, so I can find this.
Now I'm thinking about what I should do throughout the service to offer to Cantor Hass.
Okay.
This is exciting.
Oh, I found it.
You found it?
I did.
This is written by, his name's Josh Wachowski. He's a rabbi. He graduated from Ziegler, which is the conservative seminary in Los Angeles. And he's an incredible songwriter. And we hope you sing this with us. Lecha Dodi is found on page 20.
Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, Penei Shabbat, Nikavela. Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, Penei Shabbat, Nikavela. Shemor v'zachor v'divorcha, Yishmi'anu el hameyuchad, Adonai echad,
on page 31 at the top. We'll read in English together. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, for whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, for whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv aravim. Our Shema can be found on page 34.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai
We'll be seated.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Adonai Elohechem.
אמת.
Seattle-based author, naturalist, and philosopher named Leonda Lynn Haupt teaches that rootedness is a way of being in concert with the wilderness. The Latin root of the word rooted, make sure we're all with us, is radix, which means the center of all things. The radix is what is radical. It's what's organic, It's what's intrinsic. It's the heart of being and the heart of action. Rooted lives are radically intertwined with the vitality of the planet. In a time that evokes fear and paralysis, rooted ways of being within nature assure us that we are grounded in our natural world. Our bodies, our thoughts, and our minds, they're all affected by this earthen community. This is both a mystical sensibility and also a scientific fact. It is an awareness that makes us tingle with its responsibility, its beauty, and its poetry. It makes our lives our most foundational form of activism. It means everything we do matters. Because we are rooted, it means everything we are do matters, and it matters wondrously. Soon we'll turn to page 40 for Mi Chamocha. And I think of Mi Chamocha as our prayer of rootedness, of being connected with a people who lived long before us, and also a people that had a tingle of responsibility to make our world a better and more just and more vibrant place. Mi Chamocha, page 40.
So we had a really, really special request today for this next song. Probably not one you know very well, but because this person's here, I think we have to do it, right? We have to do
I think
it, right?
we have to do it.
But in actuality, this is a song that provides such comfort to all of us, to our community, and to think that we have this place to sit in while outside it is not so pleasant, but we have this sanctuary, this place. We'll talk about that later. That I know Rabbi Scott's going to talk about it, and I'm going to sing about it. But the idea that we can have this permanent structure that sits here, that's a home for us. And so I invite us to turn to our supplements at the bottom right of the page as we join together in Hashkivenu. Hashkivenu Adonai Elohim.
our Amidah, our standing prayer, our prayer of oneness with the divine, oneness with ourselves, and oneness with our world can be found on page 46, and will rise in all the ways we are able.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor ve'hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Vekoneh Hakol, Vezocher Chasdei Avot ve'imahot, Umevi Geula Lifnei V'neihem, Lema'an Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechaye hakol atah, Rav lehoshia, Mashiv haruach u'morid hagashem, Mechalkel chaim bechesed, Mechaye hakol berachamim rabim, Somech noflim verofech olim, Umatir asurim, Umekayem emunato lishenei afar. Michamocha ba'al gevurot, Umidom elach, Melech memit umechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman atah lehachayot hakol. Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, U'kdoshim b'chol yom yehalelucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh.
We'll continue silently with the words on our prayer books or the words in our hearts until page 62, and we'll be seated when we're finished.
Will you be my refuge, my haven in the storm? Will you keep the embers warm when my fire's all but gone? Will you remember? Bring me sprigs of rosemary, be my sanctuary till I can carry on, carry on, carry on. This one knocked me to the ground, this one brought me to my knees. I should have seen it coming, but it surprised me. Will you be my refuge, my haven in the storm? Will you keep the embers warm when my fire's all but gone? Will you remember? Bring me sprigs of rosemary, be my sanctuary till I can carry on, carry on, carry on. In a state of true believers, on streets called us and them, it's gonna take some time till the world feels safe again. Will you be my refuge, my haven in the storm? Will you keep the embers warm when my fire's all but gone? Will you remember? Bring me sprigs of rosemary, be my sanctuary till I can carry on, carry on, carry on. You can rest here in Brown Chapel or with a circle of friends, a quiet grove of trees or between two bookends. Will you be my refuge, my haven in the storm? Will you keep the embers warm when my fire's all but gone? Will you remember? Bring me sprigs of rosemary, be my sanctuary till I can carry on, carry on, carry on, carry on.
That song was called Sanctuary by a poet and songwriter, Carrie Newcomer. We're going to learn a little bit about sanctuary tonight. I'll invite us to look around. Let's look around where we are. Notice what you see You can even feel your feet on the ground. And we'll take it in. We'll see books. We'll see carpet. You'll hear the rain on the roof. You'll hear a lot of rain on the roof. Some of us are here in this room, and others are with us on the stream. And no matter where we are, we can feel that we're in a space. We can feel that we're in a room. It's a room. It has air conditioning or heat. If you look closely, you might see some electrical outlets, or you might feel air conditioning. We're in any ordinary room, are we? Or are we? The question that I want to pose for us tonight is, what constitutes a sanctuary? What constitutes a holy space? A space in which one can feel the presence of something greater than us. What makes an ordinary space a holy one? And if we were to take something away from today, how might we transition the spaces in our lives that might seem profane into holy spaces? Our Torah places us after Moses ascends the highest mountain in the region. Enveloped in a cloud, shaking back and forth and filled with smoke, Mount Sinai is surrounded by lightning flashes and roaring thunder. Moses accepts God's commandments for the Israelite people. And then God presents Moses with the following words: V'asu li mikdash v'shachanti betocham. God calls out, all of you Israelite people, may you craft for me a mikdash so that I may be in your presence. May you craft for me a mikdash so that I may be in your presence. Mikdash, a physical space of kadosh. It shares the same Hebrew root, kadosh, or kiddush. We might make kiddush on Friday. A physical space of holiness, a place where we can experience the holy, or in other words, what we might say today is a sanctuary. At the peak of the mountain, God instructs Moses how to fashion this particular task. But it's not an ordinary mikdash, because the Israelite people, they're not in the land of Israel yet. They're wandering in the desert. So they can't formulate a temple. They can't formulate a holy space that is sedentary. They have to form what's called a mishkan. A mishkan is a holy dwelling place for the Shekhinah. It shares the same Hebrew root, mishkan, Shekhinah. Shekhinah is the divine presence of God. The Israelites cannot construct this standalone temple, and so a portable one must do. We have our own Mishkan. We have it actually in our chairs right now. It's a portable piece of holiness, I'll say. If we flip to the front cover of our Sidurim, you'll see it's entitled Mishkan Tefillah, the holy dwelling place of tefillah, of prayer. It's saying that we don't need to hop on a plane and fly to Jerusalem and pray at the Western Wall toward the Holy of Holies in order for our prayers to count. Holiness can be right here with our prayers and our meditations in this space too. When Moses receives instructions for how to craft the Mishkan, he figures out how to build this holy portable sanctuary fit for God's presence in a step-by-step, very intricate manner. First, you need to build the tabernacle, and then you need to construct its tents, and then its coverings, and its clasps, and its planks, and the bars, and the sockets, all totaling to 39 distinct commands. There are 39 distinct commands that Moses needs to do in order to build this tabernacle. The ancient rabbis of the 3rd century provide an insight into why the Mishkan is holy. And no, it's not because of the clasps and sockets. Rather, the Mishkan is holy, according to the rabbis, because the same 39 acts required for creation, things like building, or demolishing, or lighting a flame, or striking a hammer, and 39 others, 39 in total, are the same 39 acts that are outlined as prohibited acts of labor on Shabbat. I'm going to say that one more time. The same 39 acts that are required to build the Mishkan are the exact same 39 acts that are prohibited on Shabbat. Anything that you could do to build the tabernacle, you actually can't do on Shabbat. Now that's interesting. According to the rabbis, there is a direct connection between the creation of the Mishkan and the prohibition of labor on Shabbat. What is this relationship between holiness of space and Shabbat? I want to illustrate with a story. A few months ago, I visited my maternal grandmother in Palm Springs. She might be watching. Hi, Gaga. In our downtime, I remember perusing the counters, and I was flipping through photo albums of years past, and I found a photo of myself from a long time ago. It was of myself, my 2 brothers, and my 2 cousins on my mom's side. And we were all sitting on her couch in her old house in the late 1990s. And we were all sitting on this couch, all 5 of us. We squeezed into this couch that's probably meant for 3 people. Now, I have such fond memories of spending time with my grandmother and spending time in my grandmother's home. Many of these moments were spent on Shabbat, when we had time to rest. Now, deep in my heart, I think back to these times as pure rest. I do not, however, before seeing this photo, I do not think of the couch when I imagine my time spent with my grandmother and with my cousins. I don't think of the couch. Instead, I think of us as a family. I think of us playing. I think of us connecting. I think of us eating. I think of us just being together. I don't think of the couch. I want to suggest that not the couch made the space holy, but instead it was the people in it who made it holy. By our actions and by our togetherness, we made my grandmother's home holy just by resting in it. And I think we can render our spaces holy too by resting in them intentionally. V'asuli mikdash v'shachanti b'tocham, make for me a holy space that I may dwell amongst the Israelites. With these words, we illuminate the Jewish people's relationship with space and the ways in which we spend our time in spaces and how we celebrate Shabbat. The spaces we inhabit, it might be synagogues, it might be a school, it might be your home, it might be other institutions. They've often shifted throughout Jewish history due to economic or political or religious persecution or opportunity. Our spaces have not remained the same. As modern philosopher and rabbi Abraham Joshua Heschel taught, Judaism is not a religion of space. To put it sharply, it is better to have prayer without a synagogue than synagogue without prayer. As our spaces may have changed throughout time, our texts, our values, and our people, those have remained unchanged, and that has connected us all. I'll invite us to look around again. We're not just in a space that has electrical outlets and books and a roof on top of our heads. We're also in a space surrounded by people who decided to spend their Shabbat rest together. We're in a space surrounded by people who want to be together, who want to learn, who want to grow, who maybe want to sing, and who want to just rest. In a holy space, we can feel uplifted, we can feel invigorated, we can feel inspired. And it's no surprise that our Hebrew language uses a special phrase for the word synagogue. It uses the word Beit Knesset, a house of gathering. There's nothing holy about those two words on their own, but when you put them together, a Beit Knesset, it's actually something bigger and greater than itself. When we experience the holy, we interleave all things, and we ourselves become whole. On this Shabbat, I want to especially express an insurmountable amount of gratitude for all those who put forth effort in maintaining our Liobek Temple Beit Knesset, our Mikdash, our physical space of holiness. I want to thank Abigail, and I want to thank Drew, and I want to thank Al and Elizabeth and the entire maintenance team, and I want to thank Kevin and the entire security team for helping our space to become created and to become holy and to be clean and to be safe and to allow us a space for all of us to feel whole. V'asuli mikdash v'shachanti betocham. May we be charged with building sanctuaries in our own lives, no matter where we are, no matter permanent, mikdash, or temporary, mishkan, so that our lives are filled with love and connection and kindness, and that we can render our world with holiness and with wholeness. Shabbat Shalom.
We'll take this opportunity now while we are holding our community, the gratitude that we feel as we think of those in our lives, in our personal lives, in our community, who are in need of healing, be it of body, of mind, or of spirit. So if you're thinking of somebody today, I invite you to please share their names out loud with us so that we can take them into our hearts, and then we'll join together in our Misha Berach. We'll join together in our Misha Berach. You can find the words to our prayer on page 253 in the middle of the page.
Help us find with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Refuah shlema to all who are in need of healing, a speedy and complete recovery. We'll all say together, Amen. Our concluding prayers begin with Aleinu. It can be found on page 282, and we'll rise as we are able.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. Page 287. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא, יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד, ושמו אחד, ושמו
Words to prepare us for Kaddish can be found on our supplements on the back. Would that the people we love and need could be with us always. But that cannot be so, no matter how much we wish it so. Why is this way? We do not know. We will never know. That is the central mystery of life. All we can do is cherish our loved ones until the time comes, as it must, when they are taken away from us. Then, like all the generations before, we must weep for those we have lost and carry on, sustained by the knowledge that something of their essence abides, always with us as long as we live, giving us strength and courage, comfort and hope. As we recite Kaddish Yatom this evening, we especially remember Mary Kesden, mother of LBT congregant Abby Kesden, mother-in-law of Jim Bernstein, and grandmother to Eliza, whom death has taken from us recently. We link her name with Eleanor Arts, David Abrams, Dorothy Abrams, Pearl Berger, Nancy Block, Judith Ann Bloom, Harold Brecker, Beatrice Burke, Sylvia Seisner, Erna D. Verdi, Bernard Duboff, Lorena Erler, Julia S. Fink, Michael Fournier, Monique Friedman, Shirley Mantell Friedman, Charles Giardino, Barbara Rose Gilson, Harry Glazer, Suzanne Gold, Mark Grillo, Fillmore Hillman, Robert Samuel Hotz, Sylvia Kibel, Esta Kroot, Jewel Lamb, Janina Lauterbach, Herbert Maccabee, Elchanan Ben Chaim, Nathan M. Niemer, Dorothy Perlman, Tilly Rosen, Arthur Schlesinger, Michael Schlieser, June Ebert Smith, Herbert Spector, Alfred Spivak, Rita Williams. If there is someone you are thinking of and you want to bring their life and their memory and their wholeness into our community and into our space this evening, I invite you to share their names with us, either out loud or in your hearts as our eyes meet. Kaddish Yatom can be found on page 294, and we'll rise as we're able. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shmei Rabbah, ba'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'hayechon uviomechon uv'haye dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru. Amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevarach le'alam ul'almei almaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yit'alal shmeh dekudsha brichu la'ila min kol birchata v'shirata tushbahata v'nehemata da'amiran ba'alma v'imru. Amen. Yeh shlama rabba min shmaya v'hayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, v'imru. Amen. May the Holy Blessed One in the high spaces come down to the low spaces and offer us harmony and peace and love. And we'll say, Zichronam livracha, may all their memories be for a blessing. And we'll all say together, Amen.
Shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al. I gotta keep going. Ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael.
Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom.
Good Shabbos, good Shabbos.